friends. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about another controversial subject, which is meal frequency. Usually nowadays they're telling you eat 5 times a day, 6 times a day to increase your metabolism. And I'm here to tell you that it's not true. Actually, it doesn't increase our metabolism. I've linked at least 4 different studies showing the evidence that it's not true. I've also linked an article that has at least 6 studies also showing that they're not true, and this was in 2011, so it was a while back and it still stands. So pretty much one of the studies that's, the one that shows the most evidence is one where they divide 2 groups of people. So they do one group which eats the total of their calories in just one single meal, and then they put the other group, and then they just give them the same amount of calories but in 3 different meals. And this was to maintain their weight, so the calories were maintenance calories pretty much. And even though they were maintenance calories, the group that only ate once a day actually lost a little bit of fat, even though it was the calories that they needed to maintain. So what does this mean? Hey Nico. So am I supposed to just eat once a day? No. What you're supposed to do is eat whenever you're hungry, when you're physically hungry. Because I've gotten this question a million times from my clients saying like, oh, but if I'm not hungry, should I eat my snack anyways? And I'm like, no, just eat when you're hungry. Everybody's different. Some people get hungry in the morning. Some people get hungry at night. Some people don't get hungry when they wake up, and it's totally fine. There's multiple studies showing different effects on each one of these variables. So what this concludes is not that, they're all wrong. No, but it's something that's very individual. It just depends on you. So what makes the most sense is to listen to your own body. If you're hungry, if you're physically hungry, then eat. For people who are very overweight or even obese, I would suggest decreasing the meal frequency. Why? Well, because if you're very overweight or even obese, you usually eat because of stress or anxiety. I mean, I do it sometimes, and I'm not overweight. So if you decrease the meal frequency to at least 3 times a day, then that means that when you get to the next meal, you'll at least be eating because you're physically hungry, not because you're anxious or you're stressed out or any of these other factors that have nothing to do with being hungry. So you would be able to control your calories a lot more. So I would try that to even decrease the meal frequency. But I'm serious, it just depends. Some people, their stomachs are smaller and they like eating 5 times a day because they can't eat a whole lot in one single time. I like eating 3 meals a day because I feel that I can eat something that's more delicious than just, some fruit for a snack or some like a cheese stick or something, which for me is like, whatever. I'd rather eat, like a nice dessert or 3 good meals. But that's just me. That's my preference. So you have to figure out what are your preferences and when you get hungry. I mean, all this thing of eating breakfast or there's no evidence for one or the other. There's multiple studies that have evidence for each one of those. So try and figure out what you need and your preferences, and try to just eat when you're physically hungry. Thank you.